Podcast. This is your host, Alex Muir, helping you flex your mind, body, and soul. In today's episode 122, we're going to be talking with repeat guest Elko Schultz. Elko Schultz is a registered psychotherapist, certified EMDR therapist, registered expressive arts consultant, educator, and award winning author of Loving Your Life book and audio series and Anxiety Warrior series. Elka, welcome back to the Mindset Podcast. Happy to have you back on the show. And prior to our last episode that we had in end of June, you were mentioning that you're going to a brain camp, and then you had done a triathlon. So you got lots of awesome stuff going on. And our listeners would love to hear about your recent experience with this like brain camp conference. Kind of some, and maybe some let us know into some insights about kind of things that you're excited about, or maybe some things that you didn't know. So welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm super excited to be back, and we had such a good time last time. And I'm into all this, into brain health, and it's so important. When we have a healthy brain, we have a healthy body, and so I know that here I'm in Bracebridge, Muskoka. Well, I went to this conference, which was sponsored by Brain Tap, and when you have a whole room of people that are healthy, mind, body, and spirit, it's exciting because you're going, oh, they're doing it too. So there's this witness and confirmation and affirmation of this brain health, which is just incredible. So that was it. It just made me probably more solid in my passion,
I love
if
it.
that's possible.
Because it's like people are I like that people are becoming more attuned to brain health, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of people that have like myself included. I got Alzheimer's and dementia that runs at both sides of my family, mom and dad. Can't, a lot of people are touched by cancer as well, different forms of cancer. So being able to have a handle on our brain, especially, right? Like, yeah, we got to build like a strong and healthy body, but our mind is another muscle that has to be trained on a regular
Right.
basis. And I feel like that's where people kind of get stuck, is they know how to train the body, but they need more. They want to feel more equipped to handle, how do I train my brain, and how do I do it in a way that's safe, that's effective, that I don't have too many contraptions or tools, non-invasive, because the brain is delicate too. um, so what would you say, from what you've learned from that brain camp, of maybe some new discoveries on, like, maybe better or more effective methods that people can use on a day-to-day basis, that in maybe minutes a day, or stuff like that, that can help people kind of build a routine for brain training in conjunction with their physical training?
That's a big question. So we'll take it in sections.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So what I love what you said is brain health. And you're right, the brain is an organ, so it is part of our body. And you're right, we want to keep the junk out. Just looking at food as fuel. And the analogy I like is, a car. We wouldn't throw water in the gas tank. Now, water, that's not a good example. Pop. We wouldn't throw pop in the gas tank.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We need the right fuel that's going to nourish us, and as it nourishes our body, it is going to nourish our brain. So that's really important, the brain health. So we want to nourish the brain. The other thing that goes along with this is mental and spiritual, and that's what was so lovely at this conference, is the mental health. So there's a few things. One of the things we'll talk about, you said a little later, was the Brain Tap app, and I'll talk about that. And we have a free gift for our listeners, so that's kind of cool. So what I would invite people to do is tidy up your mind, and this is something we can all do. So what does that mean? So here's some examples. And I don't know if I mentioned it in our last podcast. However, when I was in my 20s, I was walking in the grocery store, and when I looked at different products, I could hear the jingles
Mm.
because I slowed down, and I just went, "Whoa, I do not want to hear jingles when I go shopping." So I just stopped listening to the radio. I don't have a TV. I don't watch TV because, again, the ads. And you've got to know this. The ads are so sophisticated, and social media does it too.
Mhm.
Um, so we need to really be careful and be on guard. Watch what we put in our minds. So I really want, and I here's another one. And you may not want to stop listening to the radio, but you may want to minimize it, or go commercial free radio. And we do have that to us. The other thing, an example is music. And I really pay attention to the lyrics. And even though, some people say, yeah, well, I like the beat. Well, if you can't hear the lyrics, you sure want to download them. And because your other than conscious mind is taking in those lyrics. So
Mm.
language, right? What is it that we want in our brain? Because your brain's going to recycle, if it's like like heavy, negative, angry music that you're listening to all the time, or mournful or negative language somehow, you know what I'm saying, is you want to tidy that up. Do you want me to keep going, or?
No, no, I like this. So
Yeah,
you
these
you
are
you
strategies. It's important to tidy up. So another one, and actually I got this from, I was listening to a seminar yesterday, and the leader, she said every time she'd go flying, she'd go and get these magazines on the stars and the movies. And she said she just realized, she just went, oh my gosh, what am I actually doing? I'm feeding in gossip, and I'm reading about other people's lives. Like, this is not productive. So she put the magazines back, and so it's, again, what are we feeding our minds? And
yeah.
activities can be like that too. So that's a big one. And then, of course, to reverse it is your daily practice, which I can talk about if you like.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So let's go into the mind of Elka Schultz of how long of a meditation session do you do for yourself, and like what kind of style of meditation maybe that you like to do, because I know you have your own audio series of like mindful meditation, either maybe narrated or not. And I know some people do unguided or guided. So like what is kind of like your day to day look like for that kind of a meditation practice?
That's a great question. Happy to share. And what I'd like to invite our listeners is to make it personal.
Yeah.
Make it so you enjoy it. I mean, happy to share what I do, and it's good to ask other people too what they do. And one of the things that I have noticed is leaders, people that are successful, all have a daily practice. So
Yeah.
this is really, really important. We need to feed our minds. We need to um, decide how we're going to enter the day. So, okay, so I wake up and I'm in my alpha mode, so I'm conscious of that, and sometimes I can go right into a love meditation, and other times there's monkey mind going on of what is bothering me. So what's really important is to clear the environment. If I've got something nagging me, then I'll want to journal it and clear my environment, clear my mind, so then I can set the table for a meditation. Um, then the meditations I choose, again, it depends. Again, I'm checking in. So if I find my mind, I'm not happy with the language, or I want to be more creative, then I'll use something with words.
Right.
If I feel pretty solid and I know what I want to manifest and where I want to go with my affirmations, then I'll use music with tones.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
stimulating my mind. So that's,
Yeah.
and then after the meditation, it's a long daily practice. However, you've got to know I love it.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to invite listeners is make sure you love what you're doing, because then you're going to do it again, and you're
Yeah.
going to do it
It's got to be a fun practice that energizes you and fuels you for for your day.
100%. Yeah, do what, and it looks different for everybody. So then I go and make my, do lemon water, and then I have my detox tea, and then I do my gratitude practice. So I have a
Mm.
journal. Um, And I just spend time, and whatever time that takes, to make and fill the page. Now that's what I do. Some
Ah,
people put it in their phone. I really, I believe in the body mind, that connection of actually writing, especially nowadays, because we can speak into a phone, or we could type it. And writing, actually, there's something magical that goes on with our neural pathways. And then I set the intention for the day of what I want. So we're part of this intention, and then I do my exercises and stretches. I do like yoga exercises, along with 21 5 Tibetan rites, 21 cycles, and then sometimes, depending on the amount of time, then I do something more physical. So I'm long distance cycling, or going for a walk, or something like that. So that practice can be as short as half an hour, and as long as 2 hours or 3 hours. Um, yeah, and that's okay. It's my life. It's an investment in me.
yeah.
And somebody, actually, this is interesting, Alex. Somebody, I've been getting different comments, but someone said to me the other day, they knew that I had a daily practice, and I said, why? And they said, you're so fresh.
Mm,
And I went, oh, because we're clean, right? Coming
yeah.
into
Yeah.
day.
We're cleansing. Each day is a new cleanse, a new reset, a new way to detox the mind from the previous day.
Yeah. And whether it's dreams or processing or whatever, right? And I that really struck me. I was an interesting observation, because
Now,
this
did
person didn't know that I had a daily practice.
oh, now is this someone that met you at the brain camp, or is this maybe someone that just came across you and then they could just feel that
Actually,
energy?
well, it was in a workshop. Yeah, they picked up on energy. We had a bit of conversation. Yeah. So yeah, and Brain Tap, what was beautiful about the Brain Camp is when you're meeting other people
Mm,
that are like not just like-minded, like speaking, and they're fit, and they're living this vital, vibrant, energetic, healthy life. And our MC, he said he was going to be 60, and honestly, he looked 45, and he was hot. And that's okay that this is public. He
yeah,
knows it too.
yeah,
However, I just went, wow, like so. And they talked about living and being the example for our clients, and
yeah.
just love that. And there was a woman, and we were hugging and crying, because we felt like we were with our peeps. It was our first kind of biohacking brain conference, and it was amazing. Just totally amazing.
It's just the thing I love about when you meet like-minded people, is like that shit you have a shared it's almost like you have a shared vision. Like you both have different visions and dreams and aspirations, but it's like you're like meeting each other in the middle, and you're just like, wow, like I didn't even know these people exist, but they exist, and they're kind of brought to your attention because you're so focused and passionate on your mission and your path that you're creating in front of you, like as you go. Um, because like when I was younger, I used to think that okay, there's this path or this path, but there's many different paths. But there's also a path that it's literally being created as you're going through. You're creating your daily energy. Your you've got your mission. You've got your clarity. Um, and when you have your clarity and you know your mission, it's like day to day is like you know what you have to do. There's no guessing anymore. It's like, okay, I know what I got to do. I just got to continue doing it. And and then like the whole like when Joe Dispenza's like, don't put a timestamp on it. To
Hmm.
forget about time,
Yeah.
like time dilation. You start to become almost time blind when you're in such a flow state. And I talked about this on one of my previous podcasts with a guy that used to work in Hollywood, and he got out of Hollywood, and then he made like an app called Suka, and I think Suka it's like Sukha, and it basically means like you're in people that use the app they're trying to get to a flow state. They're trying to get into that. sweet spot of they're not like they're working hard, but they're not like they don't feel like they're overexerting energy. Their energy is in the exact right place.
Yeah, and what I hear you saying, it's your passion. When you have your passion, you have this energy when you tap in,
Yeah.
and that's what I noticed there is people are there to serve. That's the
Yeah.
other thing that was so beautiful is the speakers, the workshop leaders, they all had, oh, go to my website. I have all these freebies. Like it's to serve and to give. And I love that because I do the same. Like
Yeah.
my website has lots of free things. So people
Yeah.
can go there, and just download talks or listen to certain music or meditations, and it's free. And that's what I do. And I love that I met a whole room full. And you're right about the serving is that they're there to serve. There's so much heart.
Yeah.
I mean, what was lovely too, I met a lot of people I'd been emailing with, so it was just big hugs right away, and this heart, this love that people are just so happy, and they just want everyone else to feel better
Yeah.
and and to share. And that's why you and I are doing this. As much
Yeah.
as we're learning, we want to share, and hopefully it helps our viewers.
Yeah, it impacts their life and empowers them to make more informed decisions about their physical and mental health, which are super vital today if you want to thrive, if you want to have that like electric energy that it can absolutely be manufactured. It just takes a bit of practice, daily
Yep.
practice, right? Like we're talking about,
Yep.
and you
Daily
can
practice. Yep.
absolutely change the course of your mind and your body of like how you want it to show up for you on a
Right.
day-to-day
I mean,
basis.
you wouldn't just go to the gym once a week and then think, that you're going to be all ripped and have your abs. It's not going to happen. You
No.
have to keep it
No.
up,
Yeah.
and that's why it's important that it's fun.
Yeah.
Like I love to cycle. Somebody else may not want to. However, it's got to work for you. Like
Yeah.
whatever it is, it's got to work so that you keep doing it and it's fun. So I look forward to it.
Yeah.
I don't get to cycle enough. I don't get to kayak enough, right?
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Yeah. And then it gives you a natural high, like a dopamine high, right? But
Yeah,
speaking of
100%.
dopamine, I've been seeing a lot of research studies. I've been reading David Goggins' book. He's a former Navy SEAL, and he had a brutal childhood. Like he talks about
Mm,
it, like abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, all of that, and it was tragic. And then later in the book, he talks about how everything that he had gone through when he failed, um, like he had to do SEAL training a third time. The first two times was just supreme mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion, and he got injured because they pushed their bodies to the absolute limit. Like there's a guy that when he was doing, it's called pool evolutions, like in the pool, where you literally had to go down and do a 15-foot pool, dive down. You had to like tie a rope while you're down in the pool, like crazy stuff. Like they're the type of training that they do. And this was all during the hell week where you're literally up for 130 hours, like
mm,
just brutal. But what he talks about later on is they call him one of the toughest, like, um, like he's got he calls it like when we get calluses on our hands from training because our body's adapting to the training and the intensity of the training. He
mhm,
calls it callousing your mind.
mm,
So as you callus your hands from when you're doing like pull-ups and bicep curls and all sorts of different exercises, he uses the same term for training our mind, like callousing our mind. So he says he was hardening his mind during all his childhood. And he has ADD, ADHD. He was diagnosed. He's not on any medication for it. And he basically said that he's like everything that I had gone through, it was like I had to learn how to callous my mind and harden my mind because most people give up. And then he's got this rule of 40% where he basically says, okay, like most people are only using half their potential, but they actually have way more in the tank. It's just you have to sometimes go back to your hardships and pull those. He calls it pulling those experiences out of the cookie jar, which is your life, and then pulling them up and basically using them as fuel to when you're at your hardest moments to help you keep pushing through because he's done over 60 like marathons. It's just crazy. So
Yeah, and so he calloused his mind against his trauma, right? And
mhm.
that's something, that training to open yourself up is can be pretty scary.
Yeah.
And so I want to just maybe offer this is do it slow
Yeah. Yeah.
and in little bits. I had a client, when I was encouraging her, and I asked her a question. I said, "Are you afraid to feel better?" And she said, "Yeah, I am."
Mm,
And I said, "Okay, can you say more?" And she said, "Because I won't know what to do."
mm.
So we agreed on going smaller steps. And so when you've got these calluses or habits, know that that's what they are, and they can be reversed, they can be changed, and it's repetition. And that's what he's saying is that he's done a lot of repetition. And again, I like the cookie jar because I'd rather have cookies and chocolate instead of
Yeah.
palaces.
Yeah. he
So
he yeah, he talks about it again, this is coming from like a former Navy SEAL. Like
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
like the life lessons. I like the because anyone I didn't go through that kind of trauma. So I can't so even though I'm reading his book, it's more to gain insight, glean wisdom, right? But a
yeah,
lot of people they haven't gone through that kind of trauma, so they can't relate to that. And I totally get that. And he
right,
says that in his book. He's like he said in a podcast I was listening to with Dr. Andrew Huberman, they're talking about that, and yeah, I didn't. He's like, he said straight up, he had to soften the book because it was way worse. Because people would be like, "Oh, this guy's crazy." He had in order to qualify for, um, he wanted to run Badwater marathon, which is in Death Valley, California. And in order to qualify for that, you had to run 100 miles, and he ran 100 miles. So in San Diego, one day it was called. He ran 100 miles in 18 hours and 60 minutes or something like that. Just insane. Like tore up
right,
his body, had to go to the ER. And yeah, and he talks about it like how he can push himself to the limit, but that's because of what he had gone through.
right,
And most people can't do that because it's just he thinks on a totally different level. But what I'm trying to
right.
say is we don't necessarily have to go to that extreme.
No. So, well, what you know what we can talk a little bit about the opposite,
Yeah.
and it's a strategy is to sit quiet, and sometimes that can be really hard for people because our world has been designed, rightly or wrongly, no judgment, to go fast, 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 fast. Emails come in, text, right? It's very, very quick, and what we need to do, we are nature. We
Hmm.
are animals. We're energy. We're cells. And it's interesting. The one workshop I was with, one of my friends, he's an astrologist and an astronomer, and he
Oh
invited me
wow.
to an evening workshop, and we went and all of us sat on the hill, and he explained, how we're so affected by the planets. We're so affected by, well, he says the moon. We already know that how a full moon affects us, how a waning moon affects the tides, animals, the ER, birth of babies, things like that. So, he said the planets affect us too, and we're all affected. So, what we need to do is sit in nature and let the nature just connect with that more. And so, sitting on a rock or watching the stars and watching the rotation, of the stars or the moon, being in a forest and slowing down and walking slowly, or even just like I love on my pet dog in the mornings. He likes my routine. So when I do my stretches, I'm on the floor, and of course he likes that. And then I just do some healing touch and loving, and he just loves that. And it's like connecting, right? We're
Yeah.
animals slowing down. So And how do you do that? Right? Is to maybe sit on a rock or look at the stars or maybe you start by taking a walk, right? And maybe you can share how you slow down.
I have to say, so next to meditation, because like you do, like every day I'm trying to create new reset my inner peace for the day. Because something that I've always struggled with for a long time is like the reason why I had anxiety is because, like you said, sometimes we have too many inputs and we have to eliminate more inputs or
Yeah.
minimize the amount of inputs that are going in. And that's it's overstimulation is what's really causing the issue. That's what creates anxiety. That's what creates um like you feel it feels like monkey mind and a little chaotic in your head.
Yeah.
So I try like very diligently to so me and my wife pretty much walk every day. I find just walking and be able to talk to each other while we're walking and then going in like in the forest, like you said, forest bathing, um, like with our dog, like that like resets my nervous system like so quickly. And we try and do like an hour. We don't really care about the duration. We just do it as long as we feel like we need to. Sometimes it's longer, sometimes it's just shorter because it's smoking hot, right? Because it's we're still in the heat of the summer.
Yeah.
But meditation, I try and do a minimum half an hour in a day. Like yesterday, for example, was a bit of a rush morning, so I just did 10 minutes, and it still makes a huge difference. And
Yep.
it still helps me focus. I can get into focus faster, and then if I need to unfocus, I can get out of focus quicker because the meditation's like an anchor, and I find it super helpful. So any of our listeners that are listening, like doing like the mind work, if you like to journal, and then I listen to a guided meditation called Oak. They just it's beautiful. You could have like the sound is very subtle. It's like a river, right?
Mhm.
Like when you hear a river, when you actually go to a river and you hear it hit the water hitting the rocks, right? And like how it's like maneuvering through all the rocks, or like stream, like a stream, like when you're on a trail and there's like it's kind of swampy, but there's like these little mini streams with like kind of mini like little waterfalls. So I like
Mhm.
listen to that and it helps me reset quicker because it's very peaceful. And that's what people need. They need more of like you said, the slowdown
Yeah.
and then the um the subtleness with less input, like just very like
Mm.
relaxing sounds and stuff like that. And another thing that yeah, that you touched on when I was looking at the brain tap, which I use when I study and stuff because I'm trying to become a personal trainer, um, is to help get me into that focus if I feel like the day I'm still thinking about the day. Binaural beats, incredible, how effective it is, and I actually learned about it in school. And my professor's like, because a lot of people think that when they listen to music, it's actually helping them focus, but it's actually you can't focus and listen to the music at the same time. It's really difficult, especially like you said when there's lyrics in there. It really divides your attention, so you really can't focus on one thing. But binaural beats is just a light. It's just like very very subtle, and then all of a sudden your mind will just you'll fixate on what you're doing, and
Yeah, you can
it's
focus. Yeah.
yeah. And if you're at all distracted, it literally takes like 5 to 10 minutes, and it's just like there's a whole playlist on Apple, Spotify, YouTube. I just put one on, and it's like, and there's like thousands of people that are tuning in when you can even just listen to that if you're not ready to meditate yet. It really makes a difference to like reset your inner dialogue, mental chatter. Um, I was really astounded by how well it works, and it's like you only need to listen to it, a couple minutes a day, kind of a thing, and that's another strategy to help reset your
Yeah,
mind.
the benefits of slowing down and doing that meditation and giving your mind that rest is just massive. And
Yeah,
like you said, it doesn't have to be long. It's just giving the system a break
yeah.
and it recharges very quickly, which is fascinating, right? So it's very good. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. And then speaking about your brain camp again, like how did what you learned at the brain camp connect with your work in soul therapy and EMDR? And did it reinforce or even reframe any of your existing approaches at all?
Well, it's made me more committed,
Yeah.
and I so I'm going to show you the Brain Tap app.
Hmm.
So it looks kind of futuristic.
I love it.
Yeah, well, it's very cool. So what's so interesting, what you mentioned about the binaural beats, the isochronic tones. This also has holographic music. It has the lights. So I'm just going to show you.
Yeah. Oh,
So what it
interesting.
yeah,
That's
and
cool.
then it has lights in the when the program is playing for the eyes. So it goes in the ocular um, and stimulates the brain that way. And that's what this does. It's stimulating. It's going through your ears and stimulating your brain. So he's combined like six science um, methods. So not just binaural beats. So this whole
Wow.
array. So it takes you very deep, very quickly, where you're
Hmm.
in the zone that monks have spent, decades perfecting. So you're getting a very, very deep, deep meditation. So how it's benefiting me, what I thought I was, I've been using this actually since December 2023. I would have told you I was very positive. I think you and I probably had talked back then.
Yeah. I think we have actually.
Yeah, so I still had my practice and everything. However, there was something else. I wanted to elevate, I wanted to change my vibration, go deeper spiritually, and I wanted to improve my thoughts even more. And that's what this is doing for me. So I've lost 22 pounds, not
Holy
by
smokes.
dieting, but just by my relationship with food. And my thinking is better. My decision making is better. My memory is better. I am definitely happy. And here's a strange thing, Alex. People are telling me that I look younger. They're going, "How are you doing it?" And I don't dye my hair. This is my own
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
And if I haven't seen friends, for 4 years or 3 years or something, they're just going, "How are you doing this? This is like," and your energy level, like they can feel it. And I believe it's this, along with, well, brain health, of course, and brain
Yeah.
health also brings heart health.
Yeah.
And when your brain is healthy, it produces over 30,000 natural substances to heal your body. It's phenomenal. And right now, here's a little teaser. I'm exploring one of my friends. I've met some really cool people too. Actually, you asked about that. Doctors, scientists, biochemists, unbelievable, on this journey of helping people with their brains and their lives. And I just met a doctor, and his is about love, is medicine. And he has some talks and different things that he has witnessed when people are in their love space, their
Yeah.
passion,
Yeah.
they heal.
Yeah.
They have this miraculous healing. And I've seen that in my studio. So it's made me probably, I'm guessing, a better listener. And I think I can tap into more of what people need. Um,
Yeah.
where I'm out of the way. I don't know if that's making sense, that I'm pure somehow, and I'm allowing what they need, not so much coming from me, if that makes even any
No,
sense.
no, that makes sense. Yeah, so it's basically because to a certain extent, even if you're in the mental health space, you're a practitioner, you're a social worker, you're a therapist, like a psychotherapist, a psychologist, um, as as a practitioner, you still have moments where you might need therapy because it's a lot to take on, right? Other people's right challenges,
Yes.
right? Just
Yeah.
because you're and they had an awesome commercial on that, and I thought it was really impressive. Like it's called BetterHelp, right? It's a way like another like type of like therapy, right? Virtual like video. or just audio, right? Where people call in and they have challenges and stuff like that. But it's a lot, and it's a lot. And by the sounds of it, like everything that you do on a day-to-day basis, right? Attending these conferences, going to that brain camp, it just helps you. It helped you be able to handle all of those inputs better with your clients and your patients.
Yeah,
Um,
you know what was really cool? I got to go to headquarters and I got to play with things. So
oh
at
yeah,
headquarters, oh my gosh, so I had some lymph drainage and different
yeah,
things done. And you and I talked a little bit about neurofeedback. So
yep.
they did like a before and after. And what I was most happiest about was after the conference, I went back to headquarters. I said, "Can I come back? I'm here for another." And they went, "Yeah, of course." So we get to try all these cool things like state of
Yeah,
the art. And I wanted to do the balance test. And this is actually
right.
also useful for your viewers. Is balance is when you want to pay attention to having good balance. So
Yeah,
yoga,
yeah.
different things, right? Sup boards, whatever, to maintain your balance for longevity. So that's big. And so I wanted to have the test. I said, I want to test and see where I'm at and what I have to do, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I got like a triple A plus. I was so
Oh, nicely
happy.
done. Right
Yeah.
on.
And the top researcher, and here's the cool thing, he's been using the brain tap for 30 years.
30
Like, this is
years.
so fantastic. Yeah, and he said
Wow.
he started using it only for night, but when the research was coming out on how effective it is twice a day, he uses it now. And he was the one that tested me, and he said, "Okay," he said, "you can't get a better score." He said, "Just keep doing what you're doing." So I was really
Right on.
happy, and
Yeah.
that's how I went home with that score. So
Awesome. And
yeah.
again, where did this brain camp take place? Was it like where you're like in Ontario or like East like
No,
no?
actually, it was in New Bern, North Carolina. It was the
Oh wow.
headquarters, yeah, headquarters for Brain Tap. So they hadn't had a conference since 2019.
Oh wow.
Now there are other. I've connected with some other people. Now they do. There are other biohacking conferences, obviously, Florida, Texas,
Yeah.
Los Angeles, throughout the year. And as I learn more and connect more, maybe I'll go to more. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll definitely go back to uh, Brain Camp. That was too fun. It was
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really excited to like dive deeper into those kinds of things because I was talking to my buddy last night because it's him and his dad's birthday are like really close together, so they just celebrated together. So we were having some drinks last night, and then we were just both talking. Like I'm like telling him, I was like, you know what? Because like as soon as I get my personal training certification, I'm like I wanna challenge, push my mind and body to its limits, see what it can do because I've always wanted to kind of like run a marathon or a half marathon. So I want to do that. And then there's a thing called Tough Mudder. It's like a all in fitness event. You're doing obstacle courses, not like the American Ninja Warrior thing, but like you're doing like climbing wall. You're going underneath like really like low in the mud and stuff like that. And I think it'd be super cool just to do it. And I love challenging my body and my mind to see like how far I can go. So and I think that and I need a challenge to tackle. I
Hmm.
need something to shoot for every single time, right? So
Well, that's cool.
yeah, because you mentioned that you've done triathlons, and all that, and you love cycling. No, you haven't done triathlon.
No, you'll
Oh,
have
I
to cut
totally thought you
that
did.
out.
What's that?
You'll have to cut that one out.
Oh,
Definitely cycling.
yeah.
No, my son and my kids, they're into triathlons and
Oh, yeah,
marathons.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I'm like, no, I don't need to do that. I'll just do my long distance stuff.
yeah.
And
No, that's still like when you were telling me like how long like because like how long is some of your cycles? Like, do you do like a full hour kind of a thing or?
oh, I'm going more now.
Yeah,
Yesterday, and I'm going fairly fast. So
yeah.
50,
Whoa.
55K, 70K.
Holy smokes.
my training, and I haven't been training as much, though I was doing 100K. So, yeah.
Holy, that's
And I
awesome.
love it. It
Yeah,
doesn't feel long. So I'm on the bike for a couple hours. And I train through the winter. So I have an
yeah,
indoor trainer because I don't want to lose
yeah, yeah.
my
Your
ability.
endurance.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
Do you have like a Peloton at home or like another type of bike, like brand of
No, I
bike or?
use the Swift. So I have a
Oh,
dedicated bike and the program, and I love the program because it challenges you. I mean, if you're going uphill, you're feeling it. It's like you're
yeah.
going uphill. If you're going
Holy.
downhill, you can coast. So yeah, so there's different routes, which is a lot of fun, and they
Right
have
on.
workouts and challenges and stuff like that too. So that's
That's
pretty cool.
awesome. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
like it's fun to yeah, especially during the winter, right? When it's like dark at 4 o'clock. You wanna like keep up with like me and my wife, we were really into for a while there, for a couple of years, probably buy the video game again. It's called Just Dance. So it's like choreography, right, to your favorite songs. And it's great cardio and it's fun. So the time like passes by really quickly. So we were doing that in conjunction with like hit training with like dumbbells or body weight training, and then like
Nice.
that keeps us really busy. So yeah,
Well, you know what's
super
so
fun.
interesting with the Tibetan rites is since I've been doing that, and I've been doing that now, I think 4 or 5 years. I used to wear a back brace when I did heavy work. I used to wear wrist braces.
Yeah,
I don't anymore, which is interesting to me. And I can do whatever I want. Like I work, like I have a property um, guy, and they're young guys, and mind you, they have more stamina, and I let them. They're guys.
yeah,
However, I'm shoveling dirt with them or raking or whatever, and I feel like I can do whatever I want, and that I think that's important.
yeah. You don't feel like you're losing any of your like autonomy for your like your physicality. Like your physicality is flourishing because of what you do on a day-to-day basis and how you train
Right,
your mind and body.
dance, I can
Yeah,
dance, right?
yeah,
And I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
And
so that's
flexibility is something that if we don't keep it up, like that's something that goes quickly as we age. And so you're talking about like your daily like stretching and mobility. Like I'm also really into that too. Like pretty much daily yoga, right? 10
and
minutes, 20 minutes.
yeah, and it's interesting. I just want to put this out to our viewers is sometimes you don't feel like it. You got to do
Yeah.
it anyways. You
Yeah.
got to do
Yeah.
it
Most
anyway.
of most of the time I don't feel like it.
Well, once
Yeah.
I get into it, and
Yeah.
then of course
Yeah.
I'm always happy that I did do it because it's an accomplishment, right?
And you feel the difference after you do it. And
And I just tell myself, I just wanna be flexible, I wanna be able
yeah.
to do and
Yeah.
I'm a really good sleeper. And that's another thing too that the meditation, helps and, gratitude practice, I believe too, because and then when you're active too, you're gonna I hit the pillow, I do my meditation, and sometimes I fall asleep, and I'm gone till the morning, which is beautiful.
Wow. Yeah. I love that. Like, do you like sometimes meditate in bed, like a session before bed kind of thing?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's why I fall asleep. So
Yeah.
so in the
Yeah.
morning, I make sure I sit up a bit
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
don't wanna go to sleep, I wanna be in alpha mode,
Right.
and, where I wanna go to with my meditation, I want to go into alpha theta,
Yeah.
into that space,
Yeah.
so, yeah, probably as the fall and the winter go, exploring that a bit more,
Yeah.
yeah.
I want to go deeper in my meditations cuz for a while there, when you're like you said, like you're really in tune, like your practice is like pretty much like half an hour a day, and then at one point I was doing half an hour morning, half an hour at night before I went to bed. But I don't like having headphones, like, because I would
Mm.
wear my headphones, right, and I would fall asleep with like my AirPods in. But I'm worried about, like, I don't know, like, because I don't have it super loud, but I'm worried about like my hearing too, right? I don't want to, because I'm a side sleeper, so I'm like wearing my earpods and then like putting pressure on my ear. So I'm trying to figure out how I should do it because it's
Well,
either
my
I gotta.
friend, you know what she got? She got a headband.
Oh, with probably Bluetooth. Ah, okay.
So
Because
she
see,
because she falls asleep and she got this headband and she said she loves it. And then it
okay,
just shuts off and then
that's
she's
so
just wearing
nice.
a headband so there's nothing in her ear.
I know. So I think I might do that because if the sound can come out of the headband, that'd be really helpful. So
Yeah, it can. And the interesting thing is, like I know, like this has a lot of science in it.
yeah.
And we're going to part of the free gift is a free 30-day trial, and this app has over 2,000 programs, and I have 10 in
Wow.
there. And
Right
that was
on.
another thing, Alex. I got to meet some of the other creators, which was just so beautiful. They're just as passionate. So it's really fun. Now when I listen, I go, oh, yeah, that was Craig. Oh, that was Laura. Yeah, so it's really kind of neat. Yeah, you don't have to have a special headset with this QR code that we're going to put up. You can use your own headsets. Again, whatever's comfortable. And then if you want to increase the effect, this will double it. I
Yeah.
like it for that.
And
That's all
again,
I
like you said, you can either rent it or purchase the whole thing too, along with the
Yeah, they can
yeah,
rent it from me, or maybe another practitioner like you're at West. They
yeah,
do now have a payment plan because the headsets are expensive. However, the app and the subscription
yeah.
is not. It's
That
very
that
affordable.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That'd
yeah,
probably be sufficient too. Yeah,
yeah, for sure, 100%. So, yeah, I just do whatever is comfortable. I think it's important, right?
yeah. But I like that because me and my wife already wear eye masks, and the reason I started wearing an eye mask like years ago was because I had LASIK surgery in 2017 because I had crap
Wow.
crap eyes, and because of sports and stuff like that, it just makes it way easier, right? Because if I'm wearing like glasses, it's just these are just blue light, translucent, like not regular prescription, but I had to wear glasses and contacts, and it just was a pain because, um, yeah, the contacts would dry out, and because I was constantly playing sports, so I'm like, okay. And then my friend did LASIK because he was becoming a cop, and he wanted, and you can't have crap eyes when you're trying to get someone or whatever, and so he got that done as well, like the year before, and then it was a successful surgery. I'm like, all right, I'll do it, and then I had it done. I was just amazed. It made such a difference in my vision,
Wow.
and so, but my eyes would get, if it was too hot or because we for white noise, me and my wife have the fans going in the room to help us, wind down. That's part of our wind down ritual before bed. So, but my eyes would dry out, and I'd be waking up, and I'd be like, oh my god. So she said, my optometrist said, he's like, have you ever looked into like wearing an eye mask? I'm like, no. And he's like, wear that, and I guarantee you, your eyes will feel less dried out because I was having to use like eye drops like a lot.
Wow.
Um, so, but now that they have these Bluetooth eye masks, like you said, to be less invasive, so I don't have to wear the headphones in bed. I want that to enhance my meditation. So then I'm still getting that, right?
Yep.
Those sessions before bed and in the morning. So
And one of the things you mentioned at the very beginning, this is so important to do more so now.
yeah,
Meditation was always important, stress reduction, always important. It's just the world. We are living in a very chaotic world. We're living in a world with a lot of high tech.
yeah,
And as humans, as beings, as animals, we're getting overstimulated.
a lot more
Most people,
frequently. Yeah,
yeah, well, it's just the frequencies. So this health is even more important to, maybe you could have gotten away with not meditating 30 years ago, or maybe even 40 years ago. It was slower,
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, we couldn't have done this. Um, well, these were around, but cell phones, I didn't have a cell phone, we didn't have email. I remember, this may date me a little bit, but my girlfriend, she brought home, I was renting with her a little, I'm just going to show kind of like a thickness like this
yeah.
of And she said, these are all the email addresses that exist and websites. It was a little book. And then
Oh my
and then a few
gosh.
weeks later, she brought it was like a thicker book, and that was the last time. After that, they couldn't keep up. And she worked in Toronto. She was a programmer and
Wow.
highly intelligent woman. And I just remember that, and I thought, wow, and it's just so all that stimulation and kids are getting it. My children have grown up with it.
Yeah.
So we need to take these breaks.
Yeah.
It's vital now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just want to really appeal to people. And I'm glad, like you said, more and more people are getting into it. Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Um, it's
It's
important.
it's a journey, and it's taken me years. And I started because like I'm a very curious person, and I wanted to change. I didn't want to feel like I'm always in this chaotic
Mm,
state, and I felt like that.
yeah.
And it's you almost have to be in tune with yourself. You have to know yourself, and I just was always like in this like felt like I would have be like up here, I'd have all this energy, and then it would just go boom, and it was just this yo-yo of kind of like caffeine, kind of like when you're not timing your caffeine properly and you're having too much, and you have this jolt of energy, and then you come down and you have a crash, and I
Yeah.
didn't like that. And it's also part of the industry that I was into. Like in banking, it's chaotic. Everyone's drinking a lot of coffee. You're There's a lot of pressure. You're in a high pressure environment. You have to hit lots of sales. You have targets to hit, and you're trying to balance all that while trying to be
And I
like maintain a good state of mind. And it's very, very challenging. And I couldn't do it. And that's why I had to leave the industry. Um, and I'm still in insurance now, and I definitely feel it's definitely better, but I know within myself that I have to do health oriented. I have to transition to that, and that's my ultimate goal is to like help people transform their mind, body, and spirit, and that's way
yeah,
more in line with my personality
and I
and
and I love what you're saying and the inner stillness. So why where you and I are appealing to our audience is when you slow down and you said this, I love what you said is that you align with yourself,
yeah,
you tap into your inner wisdom
yeah,
and whatever if you believe in outer wisdom, that's what this stillness gives you.
yeah,
So and you did ask me that even for how it's benefited my clients is I get to tap into more and more, deeper and deeper, richer and richer of what I can provide and also for myself. And I even did that today. I had a whole list of stuff, chatter. And I just went, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to regroup and figure out today because, once it's gone, it's gone.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, right. And it's like not um even when we're it's like some days it just even when I do all the things, I meditate, we've walked, I've done hit training, sometimes there's a lot of mental chatter. It's really loud. My inner critic is just like, oh, you didn't do this, or you didn't do enough of this, or blah 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 blah. And it's like, and sometimes, yeah, I have a hard time shutting it off even after I do all those things. And I've talked to my therapist about this. And I tell her straight up, I'm like, some weeks, for whatever reason, I'm out of sync, and or something's misaligned, and it's okay. It's okay. It's not going to be perfect. The point is to keep doing the thing regardless of how you feel, right? Because it's just sometimes no matter if you're like, I'm doing my practice regardless, doesn't matter what state I'm in. Sometimes my state is just it just takes me longer to get out of the monkey
Right.
mind, and that's okay. And I just want people to know that are listening to this, if you feel like you're in the monkey mind often, we're all in that. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It just means that some days it just takes you longer to get out of that work, that beta mode, and into right alpha, theta,
And our
delta.
mind, our mind
Yeah.
doesn't stop.
No. No.
So the conscious mind slows down, but the other than conscious mind
Yeah.
doesn't.
That's always
And
going. The subconscious mind's always going like like you
Yep.
said, like, and that was one of our best clips actually on our last podcast, like how the mind never shuts off, right? Because the subconscious is always in the background. It's
Oh,
always
yeah.
orchestrating, it's always creating, it's always like, what's next, you know? But
So,
like you
yeah.
said, let's leave it here with
Yep.
um because of doing the daily practice that you do, because of the mindfulness techniques in the mind and the mindful practice, daily meditations, it helps you become more of who you're meant to be. And that's
Mhm.
what I want to really let people know is,
Mm.
right? Sometimes
That's beautiful, yeah.
we're lacking clarity because we need to meditation helps us learn how to peel back the layers of the onion and go deeper and deeper and deeper the and further into maybe parts of us that we didn't know existed, um and they're all brought to the surface. It's like you're facing your own, let's say, demons, or you're facing your own inner bliss that you didn't even know was under the surface the whole time. And it takes practice to find that and to uncover that and to bring it up to the surface.
That's beautiful. And just keep listening to Alex's podcast as you get more and more, because all this is juicy stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I loved yeah, this is our third episode, Elka, with having you on. So really awesome. And that's over like yeah, since 2023.
Yeah.
So where can our listeners find you? And I know you have that QR code. Yeah, anyone that's interested in the Brain Tap and they want to try it out, like Elka said, there's a 30-day free trial. And then anyone that wants to reach out to me directly, I'll get maybe we'll get Elka to, like, yeah, send the QR code to you separately if that's something you're
They can,
interested in.
yeah. We
Yep,
can, and if your
yep,
phone doesn't read a QR code, we can send you the link.
yep.
We can
Either
do
or, yeah,
that. And yeah, so if they look up my website, it's basically my name. So no space. So
yeah.
ELKESCHOLZ .com. And you'll find information on the Brain Tap. You'll find information on my books. You'll find all the free stuff if you want. Whatever. You'll find our podcasts, so they'll be there. Yeah,
Awesome. Really pleasure having you on the Mindset Podcast again, Elka, and love what you're doing. Love how you're helping people and right, building their own practice and helping them navigate this chaotic world that we live in.
you betcha. And making it lovely.
Yeah, awesome. I'll probably get this posted later this week, and then again I'll turn it into clips, share it on your socials, on your website,
Yeah, I
like I
did. That
always
was
do. And
fun.
yeah, yeah, we'll do that. And I'm really looking forward to having you on the show again in the future.
You betcha. All
You
right.
have yourself a great weekend.
You bet. You
All
too.
right,
Bye,
take
Alex.
care.
Thank you.